May I?
You don't need my permission.
Oh, it's my, oh, I see how it works. Yeah, funny, huh?
But yes, you may.
Sorry, Mayor. Good, that's all right. Good morning, and thank you for joining us this morning for our City Council study session. We'll go ahead and get started. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Yes, here.
Yes, here.
Yep. Here.
Here. We'll move to agenda item number 2 is Historic Preservation Commission update. Representatives from the Historic Preservation Commission will discuss the commission's goals and projects as well as council's policies and expectations. And I'm assuming you have a great announcement coming up in a couple weeks.
Well, hopefully.
Yes.
My name is Marty Viscara. I'm the current chair of the Historic Preservation Commission for the city of Pocatello. I have an update for you today prepared by staff that I will go ahead and read for you real quickly. To Mayor Bladd and City Council members from the Historic Preservation Commission, today's date is September 8th, City Council work session. Number 1, our recent accomplishments. We have continued design reviews of exterior alterations in the downtown Pocatello Historic District. In fiscal year 2022, 8 applications for certificates of appropriateness have been reviewed by the Commission, compared to 20 applications reviewed in fiscal year 2021. About half of the certificates of appropriateness that the Commission reviewed this year is for signage. Other applications that have been reviewed include some of the following. Approval of 2 Relight the Night neon displays, including the Eagles and the Pocatello Indian Head, a new back patio for Off the Rails, facade alterations for the Eagles building, and updated windows for the back of Station Square. We applaud the City Council for agreeing to authorize the transfer of $65,000 from the Facade Improvement Program to the Brady Chapel Fund. This has given the HPC and the Friends of the Brady Chapel the ability to utilize this funding to pursue additional grants that could potentially double the funds to restore the Brady Chapel. To date, we have approximately $77,000 in the Chapel Fund with $10,000 in matching grants. This year, we have been pleased to welcome the Friends of the Brady Chapel organization as a critical partner in our efforts to restore and preserve the Brady Chapel. As a 501c3 organization, the Friends will act as the fundraising arm of the Brady Chapel campaign and lead organizers for fundraising events for the chapel with the support and involvement of the HPC. When restored, the Brady Chapel will be available as a venue for funerals, small weddings, and various other receptions, and events as a means for the upkeep and maintenance of the historic structure. Current and upcoming projects. The city has been awarded a $10,000 grant as part of the Certified Local Government Program to overhaul the downtown historic district design standards. This project will be the catalyst to streamline the process for projects within the historic district and provide clear and reasonable standards to preserve the materials of contributing historic buildings within the district. While this grant has been awarded, the State Historic Preservation Office is still waiting on the National Park Service to have the funds available for this project. The Brady Chapel Centennial Campaign is ongoing until we can raise enough funds to completely restore the historic structure. Future fundraising events we currently have planned or in the works in coordination with the Friends of the Brady Chapel include the following. The Veterans Day Open House at the Brady Chapel is scheduled to take place on November 11th, 2022. We are continually discussing how to coordinate with the Friends of the Brady Chapel to host additional fundraising events and public outreach opportunities that may be planned in fulfillment of our mission, goals, and efforts to preserve and protect historic structures and districts within the city of Pocatello, with a focused effort for fundraising aimed at the Brady Chapel. In an effort to be more transparent and open to address concerns and provide feedback from the public, we've been hosting open houses and downtown walks as part of our second monthly meeting during this year. This provides the public the opportunity to openly engage with the Commission and provides us an opportunity to share our interest and desire to protect and preserve our city's heritage, and hope that those who choose to locate in the district share or at least understand the standards we have been commissioned to uphold. We are continuing our efforts to coordinate with the staff on identifying potential historic districts and buildings throughout the city that could potentially be listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Our current project is the survey of the Bonneville neighborhood, with which the consultant is just finishing up. We are continually looking for opportunities to coordinate with Historic Downtown Pocatello Incorporated on projects to improve and promote the Downtown Pocatello Historic District. We are also continuing our partnership with Relight the Night Committee to restore and relight historic neon sign displays in the historic district. Lastly, we want the council to be aware that we are working closely with staff to improve the image and processes associated with historic preservation and the commission. We are passionate about the preservation of our city's history and want to ensure that this important endeavor is clearly understood by the community and the process simplified for the owners of historic properties in the Pocatello area. We want to be a resource for everyone who desires to protect and preserve the city's history, as well as the cultural and economic value these historic buildings provide. Thank you for this opportunity for the Historic Preservation Commission to provide an update on our continued efforts to preserve the history, culture, and identity of Pocatello. We would be happy to answer any questions, if any, at this time.
Council, questions?
That was a lot, I know. Rattled it quick.
That was a lot. I do have one question, Marty. You've got the open house. I know that we were trying that new idea, the open house, the second meeting of the month. Maybe get more people involved. I know there has been a lot of people that were complaining and that we weren't transparent. We were doing everything in the wrong times and stuff.
Yeah.
How has that open house been attended? How have, we've offered it to the public. They've had a long time and a lot of opportunities to come, have some input and stuff. How has that been?
We do post, as per city requirements, that where we will be attending. Attendance has not been fantastic at the moment. We maybe get a few people that are not part of the commission or associated with what we are doing at that event, or excuse me, that open house. Attendance has been low. I personally would feel that it would be important to continue doing so with the hope of engaging more individuals. We are looking at taking walks in various areas of the district that we have jurisdiction over to try and engage more, provide more information to individuals on what it means to be a historic district and what that actually applies to them as far as building ownership as tenants. And it is in hopes really to kind of reinforce what we're doing is not in a way to stunt growth, and by any means. We're looking to improve that, and we want that feedback from them as well.
Well, I think it's a great idea. Okay, Josh and then Linda.
I know we kind of postponed our discussion on signage code updates. What role does Historic Commission play in that process of rewriting signage code?
Jim might be able to answer this a little bit more than I can. As we do, any sign that is posted in or that is placed in the historic district has to come through the HPC for approval. We look at basically how it fits aesthetically with the building, what it may impact as far as the structure of the building itself, and kind of have to look at it as a whole. The current signage code for the city of Pocatello is a little outdated and kind of strict. It's something that we're looking at improving, and that's where these open houses have been an opportunity for us to try and get feedback from the community as what they would like to see.
Linda?
I don't have anything to add on that.
Great.
Sounds good. I wanted to ask about the Bonneville neighborhood survey, and I'm excited that that's almost completed. And I just was wondering if you could say a little bit more about what that's about and what we'll do with that, or how it will be used, and what the results will mean. So
this is, if I remember correctly, this is phase 2 of that project. We're actually, phase 3, excuse me. We're doing, I believe, the west side. I'm trying to get my directions correct here, towards the triangle, correct?
Yeah, so it includes everything from 5th to 15th and Oak to Center. And it's been a long process. It's just finishing up the last phase, which is the more easterly portion. Once that's all complete, we'll gather all the reports. The next step would be to engage the neighborhood to see if they want to list it as a National Historic District, and get recommendations from the consultant if there's enough historic assets in the neighborhood to even have it even be worth the district.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for being with us this morning. We appreciate everything you do with the historic preservation.
Excellent. Well, thank you.
Thank you. We'll move to agenda item number 3 is Planning and Zoning Commission update. Representatives from the Planning and Zoning Commission will discuss the commission's goals and projects, as well as council's policies and expectations. I might just add, as Matt's handing this out, that the commission, nobody from the commission was available this morning, and so Matt's going to go ahead and give us that report.
Sure.
Good morning, Mayor, council members. Matthew Lewis, senior planner, also staff liaison with the commission. So just a brief synopsis of what the commission has done this past year. Just going back through some of the numbers and so forth. We do have 2 new commission members. Eugene Bartu is a new member. The remaining members that you see there have been on the commission for at least a year. As Mayor indicated, Crystal, who's the chair, was unable to attend. Basically, from the period of September 21 of last year to September 14th, which would be our next commission meeting. To date, we've had 11 preliminary plats, and in comparison with last year, we had 20 preliminary plats and 21. Just some, I think the reason for that is a number of the plats, as far as just the difference in number, we had larger plats that had more lots in them in comparison to the previous year. So I think that's probably why that difference is. And then some of the construction equipment and stuff that I think was difficult to get this year. So that's just an observation. We had 6 zone map amendments requested with findings of fact. In comparison, last year there were 7 applications. 5 annexation applications were reviewed with findings of fact, and in comparison there were 4 annexation applications last year. There was 3 conditional use permits this past year, in the same number as the previous. 4 comprehensive plan map amendments were considered. The commission also held 2 public hearings regarding amendments to Title 17, specifically changes to building heights and parking. The commission, or the council, may recall those being before you, and both of those were approved. I think the biggest change this year was holding, typically for many years, as long as I've been here, we've always had two meetings, either the first or second Wednesday of the month. We changed that to have 1 meeting a month. That has worked out well. We did have 1 meeting, and it was kind of a learning lesson where we had, I think, probably 6 public hearings on that meeting, and then 1 was not a public meeting, but it was a long meeting. And so if we have that many items on, and we know that, we can always hold the second meeting. So that was kind of a learning lesson, but that was the only meeting. I think that was probably in March, February or March, when we had that. But that's probably one of the bigger changes that we've made, and like I said, that's worked out good both for staff and the commission. And then Brent and myself held a training session with commission members. That went well as well. We didn't get to everything we wanted to. They had a lot of questions, but as far as the goals of this upcoming year, of course, we have the comprehensive plan update. The commission will review that and hold as many public hearings as need be, and make a recommendation to the council. And then again, it's always holding training sessions for the commission, at least quarterly. But that's a brief synopsis of the commission's action. Staff really appreciates their time. I think that we have a really good commission currently to ask a lot of questions, and you know, they're learning the code as they go. And so if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those for you.
Rick?
Matt, I'm curious about the acreage of the annexations. I know that's probably not something you have at the tip of your tongue, but I'd be curious to find out how many acres we actually annexed during the past year.
Okay, I can get you that number. So for instance, we just had an annexation, I think the last council meeting, it was around 30 acres. And that was a comprehensive plan map amendment as well.
It's 160 acres.
The one that was
29.
yeah, I think it's
The last one, but we've had them.
oh yeah, but
60
the one that Jim did, yeah. But no, we keep an update on that with GIS and so forth, so I can get you those numbers.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I just wanted to comment on the training. I had heard from people that went really well and that they appreciated that, and I think continuing it is a good idea.
Yeah.
I would imagine of all our advisory boards, this is one of the more difficult ones to serve on, and there's a lot that they need to learn and know and to be able to serve effectively. So I think training for these folks is really important. So appreciate doing that, and I think keeping it up on a regular basis is a good idea.
Yeah, and every year, about February, Ann is always willing to do an open meetings law,
Right.
And so she'll come and do that, and then we just have the, just state, law and so forth, and keep them abreast of any changes and so forth. So I know that they appreciate that training. So.
Any other questions for Matt? Matt, if you'll just get that sent to us, the annexation numbers, that'd be great.
Yep.
Super. Thank you. Thanks for filling in last minute.
Appreciate it. No problem.
Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 4 is a fire union quarterly update. Representatives from the Pocatello Fire Union will give the council an update of their activities the past quarter. Morning, Jordan.
Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, Council. Jordan Van Every, Pocatello Firefighters, Local 187 President. Let me pull up my notes here so I can stay on topic. Just a few things to report on. It's been a little bit. I just wanted to say that labor management meetings with the fire chief have been going very well, and we are making a lot of headway on addressing some of the issues that we're facing as a department and as a labor body. So that stuff is going excellent. We've been sending a lot of our members out on deployments this summer, and it's been really good for our members to be able to get out and serve and use their skills to help other communities that are in need, as well as gain a lot of that valuable experience that they can bring back to the city. Currently, right now, we have 2 engines out on the Smiley Creek fire in Blaine County, and I was just there yesterday. We had to drop off an engine to them, but again, those guys are gaining valuable experience being on some of those larger incidents to bring back to us here. And they're happy to do it, and they're excited to do it. So we appreciate the ability to go and do stuff like that. To kind of segue to a different topic that I just kind of want to make you guys aware of, some stuff that we're doing as a labor body that the staff is really in support of. Earlier this year, we had one of our members of a different local commit suicide, and he was in Ketchum, the professional firefighters of Ketchum. And we have been developing this peer support team to not only be available for our members, but to be able to send to departments that are in need of something like that. Heaven forbid that happen. Shortly after this happened, we were able to send 2 of our members straight to Ketchum with the support of the staff. So we sent Chris Prather and Jared Morris to Ketchum. They spent a couple days there just being there for those members of that fire department and the surrounding fire departments. I don't know if you guys are probably all aware, Sun Valley, Ketchum, Wood River, all those guys are pretty close knit together in that area. So they felt like they needed to be there, and they were more than willing to go and do that. So just, it's such a valuable resource for us to have that peer support committee and that peer support team. And we're hoping that that can extend beyond the fire department, you know, to the police department if something ever happens or we need that. That being said, suicide prevention is very high up on not only our local radar, but the international radar. And the International Association of Firefighters has built a center for helping folks that are having issues, specifically firefighters. So it's a center that's designed to help those people, specifically for them, by them. Currently now it's in Maryland, so it's kind of a jaunt from where we're at right now, but they're getting very close to opening a center in California on the West Coast. So we'll have multiple resources to help kind of combat the stresses that we deal with and help folks cope. The peer support team that we have here has kind of been educated on how to help guys develop stress coping mechanisms if they need it, healthy stress coping mechanisms. So that's something that we have been working really hard on and sending guys to get further training that are on that committee or on that team. So coming up, we're hoping to be able to do our Fill the Boot drive. So Fill the Boot is a fundraiser that we do for MDA, Muscular Dystrophy Association. And it's a nationwide fundraiser by firefighters. So far, as of the 1st of August, they've raised $3 million. And typically what we see with MDA is most of the boot drives are done in the fall. So we still are kind of coming into that. And they're hoping to raise close to $20 million this year. During COVID, those numbers dropped off significantly because we weren't really able to get out on the street. So we ran into a couple roadblocks with our fundraiser this year, but we're hoping to get that pushed through, hopefully, and do it in October. We had some of our materials were delivered to Boise, and so we're trying to get all that stuff lined out. But so yeah, that'll be coming up, and hopefully we can get some support from the community and realize it's going to a really good cause. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association has really made some strides in the last 5 years towards providing treatment for these folks, and it's a really exciting time for them. So the more that we can help those people do their research, the better. So do you guys have any questions?
Do you have any idea of the date in October?
I don't yet. We're still trying to work on that. I believe that we need to come to you guys with our intersections and stuff.
You have to come and ask for permission for what intersections.
Yeah, we'll get on figuring out some dates for you.
All right, perfect. Sounds good.
I want to go back to the mental health.
Sure.
What are you? I understand there's this place in Maryland, but there are people here. You guys get physicals every year, correct?
We do, yeah.
Right? So I know the police department kind of implemented the mental health, right, where you can go and talk to somebody here. And I don't know how it is. I'd have to ask now. Right? It was almost mandatory. Everybody had to go through once.
And we have that.
Do you
now.
have that?
Yeah, starting
Perfect.
this last contract cycle, we now have required EAP visits.
Perfect.
So
because I think that's a big thing, right? I think what you're doing inside with your people is good, but not all your people want to talk to your people, right? And sometimes you need to talk to somebody you probably don't even know to
it definitely provides an avenue for
mental health is huge
to be able to talk to somebody.
It's huge. So. It's something we have to pursue.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Rick?
Along that line, this national peer support group you're talking about that's in Maryland, are there applicable things coming out of that we could start here and not wait until there's a West Coast office?
There are, and so the center in Maryland is, it's called the Center of Excellence. So it's basically a center where we can send people to get treatment for those acute type, or not acute, but the chronic type, PTSI type stuff. And a lot of stuff that's coming from the international down to us at the local level is kind of direction on how we can start to prevent some of that long-term injury. So we're still kind of working through those things, and that's, you know, kind of why we implemented. I think the peer support group has been kind of in place for about 4 or 5 years now, but we're just now starting to get our feet under us to where we can start to help guys more actively, if that makes sense.
Is there anything else you need to make that work?
You know, we had a guy that wanted to go to some training down in at Salt Lake. So there's a center down in Salt Lake that's not a firefighter-based center, and he wanted to go down to that training, and the staff was 100% in support of sending him down there and got him the time off that he needed. And so I think that in and of itself has been really good for us. So just having the chief and the assistant chief behind us as far as getting that done. So if there is anything that comes up, I will definitely let you guys know.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Linda?
I wanted to thank you in general for all that you guys do, but also specifically for your support of getting the Boys and Girls Club started. They started this week in Syringa Elementary School, and hopefully we're gonna, you know, really grow from there and become something really positive in the community. So your support of that was tremendous, and I just wanted to let everybody know, because of that support, you were voted to be Member of the Month of the Chamber of Commerce, the Pocatello Chubbuck Chamber of Commerce. And I think it was July, it was sometime during this summer, one of the summer months. So thank you guys for your support, and I was really pleased to see you be recognized for all that you've done to support that project in particular.
And we're hoping to continue our support of that.
Wonderful. Thanks.
Any other questions? Jordan, thank you. Thank your
you.
members for everything they're doing. Thank you. We will move to agenda item number 5 is proposed September fiscal year 2022 budget amendments. Finance Department staff will be in attendance to present to the council detailed information on proposed fiscal year 2022 September budget amendments for the public hearing to be held September 14, 2022.
Mayor, honored City Council, Eugene Hill, City of Pocatello Finance Department. If I can, that again, just as you know, each year there's amendments due to the grants that have to be approved by City Council and just other things that happen. This is the third time we've gone through this. So if I can summarize, do you want the line item too? Does that need that much detail?
I don't think you necessarily need the line item.
Okay. So for the mayor's office, out of Fund 1, they've requested the approval to give them authority for $1,000 to go to the Mayor's Youth Advisory Committee, which was a donation from the Optimum Idaho. The police department has received a donation from ICCU that they'd like to use to upgrade their drones. The fire department would like to increase its authority of reimbursement for direct funds due to fire deployment, and these funds came from Idaho Department of Lands in the amount of $26,924. Library would like to get authority to use the donations from the community for projects to benefit the patrons in the amount of $2,272, which come from Fund 007, excuse me. Also, the library would like to use some of its reserve funds for stucco repairs that was approved in fiscal year 21, but not able to be completed until fiscal year 22 in the amount of $47,324, which would come from Fund 007. Fire Department and the EMS would like to increase authority for reimbursement of direct costs due to fire deployment, December 21, June, and June 22. These funds are coming from the Idaho Department of Lands in the amount of $249,871. Water, or the WPC would like to use $2,609,170 from Fund 038 and from Fund 032, $493,000 for a total of $3,102,949 to retire the WPC bond. It's actually a call provision. I know in the memo it says it's a balloon payment, but it's actually a call provision, which allows us to save about 3% by getting that. So I think that's a wise move. The street fund, there was a project in fiscal year 24 that the state has approved additional money to start the project early, which is the Hathorne and Quinn Street, which is $250,000, which would come from Fund 070. And then finally, we have, due to the anticipation of the fuel costs in fiscal year 22, departments need to ask for additional authority from their reserves to pay for unexpected fuel costs. Building was $4,760, which would come from Fund 001. Fire was $11,022 from Fund 001. Street was $39,613 from Fund 003, and sanitation was $144,533,000. So the total amendments that have been asked for is $3,881,267.73.
Questions, Rick?
Two, Gene.
Okay.
The library, the project that will benefit the patrons of the library, is there any detail on where that money's being spent?
I don't have that, but I'll get that for you.
Thank you. The second question has to do with the WPC bond. So we are retiring that bond completely then? It's done?
Yes.
Oh, good news.
So there's two bonds at WPC. This is retiring one of the bonds. The second bond was the one we took to upgrade the system for the 25 million or whatever that was. This one will retire the bond early, and so it's a good move. We've got the money available, and we may as well.
Any idea what's left in the other bond?
I will get that to you. I don't have that off the top of my head.
Thank you.
But I would like to back what the mayor's saying in that, the amount of money you can earn right now on interest and we're allowed to invest in versus the cost of the bond makes total sense to exercise the call, pay it, be done with it.
I agree.
Yeah. Other questions? Gene, thank you very much. That we know we have to do a budget amendment every September, and thank you. This is a pretty straightforward, simple one. So.
Well, and I'd like to thank the staff for their help getting this ready. So,
absolutely,
thank you.
Done a great job. Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 6 is piggyback bid contract for police department vehicle purchase. Council may wish to consider piggybacking the City of Boise co-op bid contract with Mountain Home Auto Ranch for the procurement of 5 police interceptors in the amount of $237,323. The purchase will be three patrol cars according to the capital replacement plan and 2 replacement vehicles, which were totaled by the insurance company. Funds are available in Fund 78 for the 2 replacement vehicles. Funds are available in fiscal year 2023 police department budget for the 3 capital purchases. Council may wish to authorize the mayor's signature on all applicable documents subject to legal department review. Now, council, before you have any questions, and I don't even know if we need to have an explanation from these 2 fine gentlemen that just sat down there, but this is a study session, and this is something I do not ever want to do, is ask you to to approve something like this outside of a Thursday evening council meeting. Unfortunately, though, if you've tried to order a vehicle in the last 2 years, 3 years, they give us dates. 2 days ago, I got a phone call that said, we have to have these ordered by Friday, or we don't have an opportunity to order until 2024. So we amended the agenda the other day so that we could get this put on. If we miss this opportunity, then it's gone. And so that is the only reason you're going to see something like this on a study session agenda, that we're looking for an answer and for permission to purchase. They've got their work cut out to get it done today or tomorrow morning, and I guess welcome to our world until chips start falling into place or something like that. Rick.
Mr. Mayor, from whom did that call come?
Who did that? To me?
Yeah.
I got a call from our clerk, I got a call from our chief of police, and I got a call from our fleet department procurement group. And so all three of them called in kind of a panic. I don't know who called them.
I'd be curious.
Tom Kirkman, Deputy Public Works Director. So Ford gave us the opportunity to purchase vehicles, and they said it would be September 16th. That was the day. There's nothing on the horizon for them. They said this could be, we could do another one of these in 6 months, or we could do another one in a year, we could do another one in 2 years. But here's your window of opportunity, and it was September 16th. So we got all of our ducks in a row. We got it prepared to go on the council agenda for the 14th meeting. We got a call 2 days ago, and they said we've moved it up to September 9th.
From Ford?
From Ford, yes. That was from Ford.
So is that a special run of police vehicles? Is that what they're talking about?
Yeah.
Are these trucks like you've had in the past, or are these different?
These are going to be Explorers, and one of them will be a K9 Explorer with rear air. And the reason for that is the trucks are harder to get right now. They're back ordered even further. So we made the decision to go with the Explorers.
Okay.
Delivery date.
We don't know.
See, that bothers me that we have to have an order date, but we're not going to get a delivery date.
Absolutely.
Because when I look at it, we're not going to get them this year. We're going to be doing a budget amendment in 24 to get the cars, right?
And we're probably going to be doing a budget amendment in 23 because we keep getting told they're going to be delivered in this month, and then they give us a call and say, no, it's not. It's going to be next month, and the month after that. In fact, I believe we're still waiting on a car from 21.
So how far are you down on, I see there's 2 on here that have been wrecked, right? So yes. Those are replacements. Yes. Do we get 100% payback on those, or the 2 that we're buying there on somebody else's dime, or are they on the city's dime?
Whenever they're totaled, they're given the rate that they're worth at the time of the accident. So you don't get the complete total cost, but you get pretty close.
So
they were fairly new vehicles when they were wrecked.
Do we, as a city, do we get to the point where we try to build a bullpen on vehicles, or does anybody have a clue when we're going to come out of this? When you talk, I mean, I'm not talking to these people that are selling us cars or bringing us cars, yeah. But a lot of people end up right in a bullpen where you got brand new pickups or police cars that they're going to get used, but you have them available. I could see where we can get in an issue, and I'm guessing it comes across the board with fire trucks and everything else, because we're looking at, garbage trucks, dump trucks, front end loaders, everything. Are we going to get in that bind?
Yeah, it's kind of up in the air right now. I really don't have a great answer. Right now, the biggest thing is chips. It's still a chip problem. We're getting most of the chips out of Taiwan, and China's been playing some games with Taiwan, and it's put some instability in their markets, and it's just kind of a waiting game. At one point, we were waiting on windshields. That was a big thing that was holding up production. Steel is a big one. Surcharges on steel are still going like crazy. It seems like it bounces from one thing to the other. There's really no rhyme or reason right now. It's very chaotic right now. It's just unbelievable. And I don't know how we're going to get out of it. It doesn't seem like it should be that tough, but here we are.
And one thing I think to answer part of your question is we've done a really good job of navigating and making adjustments, using some iterative decision making as things go on and these different unknowns happen. We've been able to do a really good job of adjusting within the city, working with fleet, working with within the city to make those course corrections as we go. And if we need to extend a car because we're still holding on to one, we make those adjustments to do that. And it's just something that 2 years ago we didn't have to think about, and now we are dealing with that. And extending the life of some things is just the way we have to do business right now. Hopefully in a year or two, we're not dealing with this issue, we'll be dealing with something else,
So do employees know that?
yes.
I mean, across the board, do you think employees know that, well, this might have to last us another year? It's not the greatest piece of equipment, but
Yeah, and
I mean, because that's where we need to help.
Exactly, and we have great people. They're soldiers. They just do what they got to do, and I want to pat Fleet on the back a lot too. I think our vehicles are more well maintained than they've ever been. We're definitely seeing prolonged life out of these assets. So.
Good.
Super.
Thank you.
Josh and then Rick again.
I have three sort of related questions to each other. First question, in terms of price, is this a case of like, oh, by the way, your date just got moved up 1 week and we're paying like an exorbitant price? How is it relative to market? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so the prices are the same as what was quoted earlier. Those prices are staying pretty steady.
Okay. Second question is, is there any opportunity to explore other manufacturers? Or do we just, I know our vehicles right now are Ford. I don't know if that's a requirement that we keep it, or if it's better to keep it consistent with the city in terms of maintenance reasons. Have we explored other alternatives?
Absolutely, yeah. Unfortunately, right now, Ford is kind of the top of the food chain for pursuit-rated vehicles. We did experiment with some Dodge Chargers. The state police had a lot of trouble with those. The engines were having issues. And then Chevy's kind of been out of the patrol game for a while. So Ford's really kind of the top of the food chain for the best. And then we are seeing some of those economies of scale where we're able to keep, a larger amount of vehicles so that we get bulk pricing on parts.
And then Ford called and said it was September 16th, now it's September 8th. Do you foresee them in the next year reversing course in the sense of, things are becoming available, or do you really feel like this is the best opportunity to get the police vehicles that we need?
I think that the way the history's been going with buying vehicles, we order and they say it's going to be 6 months, it turns into 8 months, then it turns into 9 months. So I think the quicker we can order something, the better we're off. It's just a weird time right now.
And we're seeing that like right now with our evidence is a perfect example. It was supposed to be done July, and it's going to be done next week. So we're seeing that kind of with everything in the industry. So
okay, thank you,
Rick.
Building on Josh's question, the prices that you're being quoted, the contract that you're going to sign, the order you're going to put in, are those firm, or is there an escalation clause built in?
No, there's no escalation clause built in at all. Those are firm costs.
So those are firm costs?
Yeah, what we're asking is for a signed purchase agreement, which locks in the price and locks in the order.
Okay.
Linda?
I was going to say, given everything that I have heard, I would like to make a motion that we approve the piggyback bid contract for the police department vehicle purchase as outlined in agenda item number 6, and authorize the mayor's signature on all applicable documents subject to legal department review.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Lurick and a second by Marchand. Connie, could you please call the roll?
Lurick,
Yes.
Marchand,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Mansfield.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for bringing that.
Thank you.
And I'm glad we could get
I
it
know
on.
it's a pain.
Not preferred, but it is what it is right now. That's the world we're living in.
Well, I think the sooner the better.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, staff and council. Thank you. With that, we are adjourned.